Just excuse me, I'm gonna get some stuff situated here. We don't have no problem. Don't have no problem. hmm Okay. All right, we back. We back. Hey, the heading of this one tonight, and I just try to give titles sometimes, just to, or whatever. But we talk about, I know what you did, but what you doing now? What we talking about? Hmm? That we're gonna be talking about. I know what you did, but what you doing, right about now. And I'm trying to find out. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So we're gonna talk about a little bit of everything. Okay, we're gonna talk about a little bit of everything. But basically, I'm trying to figure out when are we gonna kind of wake up. Some of us still sleep. Some of us not asleep. Or dreaming. Some of us having nightmares. As you would call it. I know what people have done. I know what granddaddy did. Daddy, uncle, cousin, sister, brother. You know, ain't saints and friends. We know all of what all these people have done, which is fine. It's fine. But what are you doing? Hmm? We'll talk the religious aspect first. Mason, I get what he did. He's gone now. Those that have taken the mantle, what are you doing as a whole unit to bring clarity to a lot of the confusion that has been surfaced? Hey, good, his side of folk. What are y'all doing? Besides not wearing makeup and not wearing pants, to bring clarity to a lot of stuff in the surface. Uh, uh, I don't know who the leaders are over at Some of the God, but what are you all doing? PAW, what are y'all doing? Bible Way, what are y'all doing? Hmm? Greater Emmanuel, if y'all still around, what are y'all doing? I know what Quanda did. Shouts, what are you doing? After the split, what are you doing over there? Quanda Wilson. I'm not Quanda Wilson. The Lyle Suit man, Sherman Walker. What are you doing over there? You know, what are you doing? Jake's, you gone. What's your family gonna do? And Jake's, what are all these different people doing, leaders doing? We do a lot of complaining. We get on social media, we get on complaining about what this person doing, what this race of folks doing, what this political party is doing, what they not doing, what's the church doing? Your answer to everything is pray. Hmm? Grandma prayed for years. Granddaddy prayed for years. You got to do more than pray. Actions speak louder than words. Hmm? Hmm? Faith without works is dead. So you can talk the talk, but if you ain't walking the walk and showing some proactive things to make these things happen, then we're gonna be where we at. Okay. I'm not gonna, waste these, as my friend Mark would say, fleeting moments to indulge in church folk, because it's bigger than that. But generally speaking, what are we all doing now? We pick sides. We say we doing this, and we doing one thing, we doing another thing. But what are we actually doing besides holding a sign saying we're making progress? I did an illustration once. I don't really like to use the word sermon, but I did one of those once, and I used a topic. If you're not in business, take down your sign. And I don't want to use that in the spiritual, just necessarily spiritual aspect, but just in general. If you're not doing what you say you're doing, stop doing it. Because basically, what you're doing is you're bankrupting your own people. You're giving the illusion that you're transforming a community. You're making a difference in the community. When all along, you're not really doing that. And I get it. People say they gotta do what they gotta do to make it. They gotta hustle and put some work in and do this and that and make a little money. And I get all that. I've been in desperate situations. I have. Trust me. I've been in it. You get a little hustle on the side. You gotta make a couple moves, make some things because you got people that count on you, and you got responsibility, and you got to do what you got to do to provide and do what you got to do. Right? I get that. But after that gray line is crossed, then you shouldn't be in that comfort zone to be a full-time hustler on the illegal equation, because at the end of that period, it doesn't just affect you, right? It affects your kids, your grandkids, your uncles, nieces, cousins, especially if you ball like that. People depend on you. When you get locked away, you leave those people vulnerable and susceptible, back to poverty, or someone takes your mantle and moves on and continues to poison the community, and then it becomes territorial, and then we start again killing people again. And I get it; it looks good, but those are microwave results, right? Yeah, you balling and you making all the money. You got the nice car, $60,000 car, maybe more than that. Maybe not even that. Maybe, let's just say 20, and you just invest in the car. Use a little propane job. Flip paint, got the wheels. T.I. came out with a song 24 back a little way back. Just to let you know, I know a little about me. But T.I. came out with a song called 24 back in the day, and you got that. But guess what happens when you get him jammed up? The 24 is gone, the car gone, the house gone, the jewelry gone, the bling gone. Because you ain't got no bank account, credit cards and stuff. You ain't got that. You probably using Cash App or Chime or PayPal or something like that, because you really don't want a big paper trail on where ACH transactions and different things like that. You don't need all that. But what I'm trying to say to you is, at the end of the day, yeah, it look good, and you getting good. You getting all the honeys. You got it going on. You getting all the honeys. The fatties, the baddies. You getting all of them blowing backs out. And y'all sipping and dipping and twisting and smoking and choking and snorting and gorting and everything else. Back shots, head shots, all kind of shots. And then when you get the bad shot and you end up in jail, you got the system back in your face again, because now not only are you incarcerated, but you take a risk of everything that you purchased being illegal, and all that get taken away, and then you don't have nothing. And then when you get out, you like big meat. You think you come out and you've been locked down, and people are supposed to greet you like, you still the same guy that you was 50 years ago. And no shade on him, but he made some major mistakes, and I don't really get into the snitch piece, because I believe a snitch is the person that's committing crimes and is using that tongue that God gave him to roll over on somebody to save his own ass. That's snitching. If you're a citizen, you see a crime, report it. Hmm? Because when it happened to you, you're going to be the main one on goddamn Facebook or Instagram or Twitter talking about you need a GoFundMe page because you didn't think you was just too busy worrying about a car, a damn Coach bag, the Prada bag, the damn shoes, the red bottoms, green bottoms, orange bottoms. Back in the day with the big hoop earrings, you know what I'm saying? And then, you got the triple fat goose, double goose, all the goose. You got the jackets, the flank, the hanks and panks, Spanx. And then, you got all this gear. Mm-hmm. It all looked good. But then when you die, people on Facebook raising you a GoFundMe because you can't even bury yourself because you didn't have enough common sense to get insurance. This helped me understand, how we can be so crazy. I've been in that cycle where, you just do stuff and you do it and do it and do it and it just look good and it's cool. That's when you're young. You know what I mean? When you're young, you can do stuff. You got a lot of old school cats too, but I'm like Mason Cameron. You got a guy that's 55, 60, 70 years old, still talking about he a gangster, calling people little homies. Then you done failed the community. You have failed the community because you ain't got no business, trying to be a thug. Said that shit. I'm saying 50 shit, 40 years old. Yeah, you ought to be thinking about your future. We all think about right now. We don't think about tomorrow. Many things about tomorrow. I don't seem to understand. Right. But I know. See, when you know something, that's when you're held accountable. You can't hold people accountable when they're ignorant, and that's why I feel empowered to do these. Every now and then I go on live. Most of them I'm doing shorts and different like that, but I feel inspired. I feel like I have something to say that is worth saying. That I want to be able to share that because when you enlighten people, then you also bring to the table accountability. And you can't be judged for ignorance. So what I'm trying to say to you is, we got to get to the point in our mind of where, hey, we can't keep talking about what we did yesterday. Because I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't give a damn what you did yesterday. Matter of fact, I don't even care what you did last month because see, last month those bills paid already, right? I'm just saying that's already taken care of. We be in Christmas now. Christmas about to come, right? We got some temperatures going on, and we want to bring some awareness because a lot of stuff that go on, it could be handled in you kind of what I like use the term like preventive maintenance. Mm-hmm. Hold that thought. Hey, Gizzy. Okay, you go ahead. My cat, but I'm just wanting to understand, that piece. Are we really doing it? Those that are doing something, are we doing it because we want to do it? I mean, is it a desire that we really have, or are we doing it because we want some attention? I mean, are we doing it because we getting paid? Those that are, that, and I'm not talking about social media. I'm just saying in general. Are you extending your hand of service to people because it's advantageous to you to receive monies in exchange for what you do? That's all I'm trying to find out. Because if that's the truth, then we're doing that in vain. We really doing that in vain, and we wasting time. Precious time. We wasting precious time because when you respect people's time, and that's what I try to do. I always try to tell people, I try to respect people's time. You know what I mean? Because time, you know, it's been told and explained to me, uh, and I've also done some thinking in this area, that uh, time is the only currency that you can spend that you get no change. You can't get back. You can't get a refund on time. You really can't make up for lost time because once that time is gone, some people forget. So we can't put that in a box and say, yeah, I can get that another time because time's not promised to us. It's not promised to us. I felt like I was running out of gas there. I had a little petrol on there. And, so, when we first came and started doing this here, um, in this chapter here, I really wanted to have real conversations. I really wanted to have a journey, where people can accompany me, in real time, having real conversations, and sometimes the real conversations is what really help. It hurt, but it helped, because if you really care about somebody, you're going to give them those kind of conversations that make them feel uncomfortable. You hear what I'm saying? Let me help. If you really care about somebody, you not only do you value their time, but you value their emotion. That's why I always tell people, you have to be mindful, how you deal with people. You got to be very mindful, how you deal with people because you might be the one that trigger that ticking time bomb to make that person go out and do something real crazy, and then the blood gonna be on your hands because you provoked a situation that really didn't need to be provoked. Sometimes we incite situation when we should actually be diffusing, and that's why I say with the temperature the way it is, we got to be mindful. However, right and right is wrong is wrong. There's a way to do things, in the area in which you do it. And that's why I made a live a couple of days ago and tell people, you have the right to do things the way you do it. This is just the way I choose to do it. And those that follow and support what I'm doing here, it's a safe place for you because this is where you can be yourself. You can be free. And as long as we're respectful and we maintain respect, I don't have a problem. People comment, making, saying what they say, do what they do. I usually don't engage in the live comment because it's just not something that I personally do. It gets me distracted. I'm just being transparent because I'm not a professional blogger or vlogger. I just come on and give real conversation in real time about real situations that I personally experience, and I also do exposure. Okay. Exposure piece. There's been a lot of police corruption going on lately. I don't know if anyone has noticed that. Right here in Ohio. Don't you think it's funny, how in Ohio, especially 40 and 70, how right around midterm primaries around that time, freeways always getting constructed, getting people pissed off, we're getting held up in traffic. It's always in road, and I don't understand that because 40 is a state route. It should never be messed up. Any state route, 40, 23, 16, 3, all these state routes, these should be these should be in superb condition. I lived in Troy for a small period of time. Troy one day, and they get a lot of snow, but Troy at that one particular time had probably a blanket of snow. As soon as the news came on, they was talking about the snow. There, Miami County, is that Miami County? Yeah, Miami County had already had the trucks and stuff out. Roads was clear. People get up to go to work. It was cool. Unless it's coming like all over, but they were prepared for the maintenance. And that's what we got to do in our life. That's what we got to do in our community. That's what we got to do where we come in contact with people. You know what I mean? We got to do things and have preventive maintenance because we could prevent a lot of catastrophes and a lot of bullshit that goes on in society today if we would exercise preventive maintenance. You know, we held a lot of people accountable. It wouldn't be a lot of shit going on in society, especially Ohio. There's a lot of shit going on in these churches, in these houses, in these apartments, in these projects, in these suburbs, in these mansions, in these slumlords, these row houses. There's a lot of shit that be going on behind closed doors, and a lot of these people are suffering and don't talk about it because they've been intimidated, and you can't trust the system because Ohio has shown that a lot of the cops are corrupt, and the people that are victimizing, the cops is getting paid to shut the hell up, and then I'm just trying to figure out, why that stuff happens like that in 88 counties. I was just watching something just the other day. Somebody inboxed me. 640 kilos. Do you hear what I just said? 2 hours away, Cleveland, Ohio. 640 kilos. To my millions. Probably 44 million, maybe. Maybe more than that. But I'm thinking maybe 44 million. 40 million, something like that. I don't know. But it's a lot of damn money in 88 county. And that shitty. And Cleveland really bigger than Columbus, really, but this is the capital, so everything comes through here, so this has to be the place. It's originally Chillicothe, for the Ohio. It was really Chillicothe. And then I think it's like coming from the south, come up this way, what's so crazy to me is I want to pose a question. I kind of want to flip this because, I'm not I'm a program manager and I like that. So if something hit me, sometimes I kind of move in a different way. But I just wanted to pose this question. And that question is, do we really want change? Have some of us been so systematically institutionalized that we're so accustomed to pain and misery that we rather just stay there? Are we so caught up in the game that we really don't give a damn about our moms, dads, kids, grandkids, the future of our community, the future of our nation? Are we so messed up and fucked up in the head to where we can't even attempt to do the right thing? I mean, some of us do, and again, I'm not perfect, but I try to spend my time wisely, and I try to be productive, and empower people. I'm firm, very direct, but there's always a gold nugget in the midst of the confusion or the chaos or the chaotic or the traumatized message you might receive or get. There's still a gold nugget. OJ said they had a song. There's a message in the music. I want to flip that. There's a method in my madness. And this is not going to be long today. I've already went over 4 minutes. Uh, I try to value people's time. I'm just trying to really drill it into people that I'm concerned. I'm gravely concerned because we got a generation that's coming up. We got a generation of entitled kids, COVID kids, a lot of them. You know, they were born in different situations, and you know, these big-eyed, bright-eyed kids. Behind them blue eyes, they see all kind of guns, switches, AK. They see all kind of shit in the house. And then when they go out and kill somebody, I just saw somebody do a story on a lady today. Her son got 65 years. And I don't agree with what the judge did, but I understand the message on what he was trying to convey. He was trying to let the woman know, look, when the boy got convicted, he was a minor. You were in charge of this child. We kept the child, bound him over as an adult. Now we get him 65 years. You want to disrespect the court, and now you want to tell the court, I ain't got to do this. And then we get people to do commentary talking about it's because he a white judge. Well, I get that, but he shouldn't have. The mama should have been watching the damn son and quit acting like he a goddamn angel, knowing all along he's selling dope, gang banging, throwing up signs and shit. They got him on video. Shit. That's how they caught him. One of the ways they caught him. And we got these young men and women out here doing all this crazy shit. And then when they get caught up, their moms run up in the courtroom screaming, going to church praying. We got the pastors leaving their church and their families going there praying for these badass kids that the mom and dads didn't give a damn about. The streets raised them. And now they about to go to prison. Taxpayers are going to take care of their ass, but the government don't give a damn about that because that's where they want them anyway. But instead, we would rather have a testimony of my kid was about that life and shot and killed and I done bodied 15, 20 people. And now we done got so crapped up in the drill music and all this. Ain't gonna be no more damn drill music. Because AI taking over the goddamn world and the industry. So while you got little Dirk in prison, he talking about the streets want me. Then you got Moneybag Yo and all these other guys. All these guys all about to go to jail. Did we forget this not long ago? Yo Gotti, Yo Gotti's brother got killed. Big Duke got killed. You forget about Big Young Dog? That's Memphis. People trying to kill him. You hear me? That's what really be killing me. That's why I always go revert back to church and God and Christ. You right there in Memphis, and you got all this killing going on in your state, in your head, in your Mecca, and all the praying and stuff y'all do. Not only you get ran out of the damn city, you can't even stop the killing. Your prayers is not even making it to keep these killing and shit from going on down. I don't want to. Can we just wake up and see what's really going on? We pointing fingers. We blaming the Chinese. We blaming the black, the white, the green, the orange, the pink, the purple. You know what I'm saying? But we killing each other. I just need somebody to help me, stay awake. Help me stay awake, and hold me accountable, And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. If you see me out here doing some shit I ain't got no business doing, people that care about people, tell them the truth. Tell me, hey, motherfucker, you better sit your ass down, your old ass down somewhere and calm down. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to speak up and say those kind of words to these young men. Because they're going to blame your ass when they go do something, they get caught up in some shit. When they in behind them bars crying at night, they're going to blame your ass because you should have been up instead of preaching and hollering and being retarded. You should have been pulling them young men with their mom and dads in the damn pastor study and counseling with them and rebuking them and reproving them and teaching them how to do right. You know what I mean? Everybody said you should be when I was growing up, now I didn't necessarily agree with the doctrine in every aspect of the movement I grew up in, but I will say one thing, we had Men's Day every month or once a year, however it went. It's been so long. But guess what they did? They taught them young men how to lay roof. Them young men, wasn't no lazy men. If there were, it was very few and far between. But no man or woman came out of 709 East Grand that didn't know how to sew, cook, knit, crochet, something. And then in February, they had traveling prayer meeting. And you be on a roster and you go to Saint's house and you go in there and pray for a couple hours. And y'all break bread together and y'all be in there praying. Rotate houses through the whole month. Then October they had all day fast. We was trained to fast starting at 5 years old, some of us were, and I could do it. People tell you I could fast now, if I was in that vein. And I still fast, on Tuesday and Friday. This is sealed in my brain. I'm not coaching anymore. But, Sundays, still listen to my gospel on Sunday morning. Still, read and study the book. My other material that I read, I still hold true to a lot of things I was taught. People that invested in me, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, to help me to, adhere to the things that I had learned. I still hold on to that. Nevertheless, sometimes trauma and other things lead to other things, and that's kind of where I'm at. It's kind of just where I'm at with that. But I'm going to say that in the next, I'm just going to say a few weeks because I don't know how I'm going to be able to navigate to do this because I got a lot of stuff upcoming. I'm going to try to do this journey series on the my take on the Pryor family from a Pryor perspective, and I want to really dig into that, and I may make that private and just share that with people that I share the link with. I'm not certain yet, but I'm already past 12 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and end this live, but I want us to wake up and really, think. Quit talking about what you did yesterday, unless it has something to do with what you're doing right now and what you're going to be doing later. Stay focused and let's get out of this, emotional ADHD. And when I say ADHD, I'm not discriminating, but, in a sense of what I'm trying to say here is sometimes we walk around and we could be perfectly fine, but we walk around, let's just say insanity. I'll just say that. We walk around doing the same thing over and over again looking for the same result. We don't get the result that we're looking for, and we still looking for it to happen that way, and that's just not, normal. And I'm getting better every day, and I want you to know that you're going to be okay, but there has to be a better way for us to convey that which we're trying to say. And we got to get this next generation prepared because Ohio, we got all these kids just coming in and out. They're forcing them through. They can't read. They can't articulate. They got to settle for jobs that's not conducive to what they're aspiring to do. They have to settle. And system's crippled now, as I said in the last line. The system's crippled, and the hustle that a lot of women had before, you're not gonna have it. You're gonna be limited now, and you got to start holding these men accountable. You're getting those backs and stuff blown out and then when you get done, the little fellow leave, and you there with the dad. I've been there, and you leave with the kid, and then you out here kicking it with another chick, exchanging spirits and depositing demons in each other. And next thing you know, the child grew up fucked up, traumatized, and they out killing and hurting folk because daddy wasn't there and mama didn't hold daddy accountable. And then the child got to walk around and look in school looking crazy, but you go on Facebook and the daddy got on a goddamn 18-karat diamond ring with a big ass truck and the mom on the coda bus. The only time you see her is when you want. They used to have a song called Nappy Dugout, Get up to Nappy Dugout. I think I was Ice Cube. I don't know who that was. I think that's who that was. But, that's just not, I don't know. Excuse it if I've been tonight, but I told you last slide, just read the disclaimer, Plus, when I come on these lives, to keep me kind of level, I got to keep me some petroleum next to me to make sure that, we can, we don't raise too much hell, because, we don't want nobody to, be, pressured to end up in jail, with no bail, So I'm out. And without a doubt, I love you. I appreciate you, followers and subscribers. You've been very supportive. You've been very nice. I want to say thank you for those that did reach and attempt to assist uh, for us to feed those families. We make appeals to go out to help somebody. I'm being genuine, really asking because we got to come together and help one another, and that becomes contagious after a while. And we weren't able to do the 5, but we were able to do 2 this year. And I'm grateful for the 2 families we were able to assist in feeding. And, whatever we can do to assist in making the world a better place. Because there's no I in team. There's no I in team. It takes we, to help people get free. And I want you to know that I appreciate you. I'm thankful for you. And I might come by later on. My sleep pattern is so fucked up. I don't know when I might. But, I try to keep the profane till late night because sometimes I really get into some real deep, sensitive stuff. And sometimes you might see some rotations in the lives. Sometimes you might see them. You might come back a week later. They may be gone, but they'll come back in rotation later on if it's relevant to what I'm talking about. But I always keep stuff saved in my hard drives, in the event that I need those. So I just want to bring some clarity. So those that are just now viewing or just now, getting hip to what we're doing over here, that's kind of what you see. We don't take stuff down, because we hiding it. The most prevalent information that's relevant is still, posted. Several sections. You got a playlist which has a variety of music. Then you have miscellaneous, which is a little bit of everything. Entertainment, news, world news, Ohio news, police corruption, government corruption. Always updates on the White House. Always updates on police corruption in these 88 counties. And then we have other entertainment sources that are listed under miscellaneous that I follow to get information. The messy spot, that young lady there, Tasha K. Every now and then I maybe post a few things from her. A couple of the gentlemen that cover church events, but I'm kind of trying to stay away from that. I have a personal issue with the Church of God in Christ, which will probably never go away. However, I don't want to involve other people if it's not relevant to me. I want to put it like that. Nevertheless, they have a major problem, and I have a problem with them. And something sparked me, and I get up in the middle of the night, and you wake up and see something. Don't be alarmed. That's what this page is about. I expose corruption, and this is the page where I can raise all kind of hell without worrying about, nobody report me like they try to do it on Facebook, which I really don't give a half. I don't even use Facebook all like that. So if you notice too, a lot of the followers that were there, most of them have been either taken out of that, and I don't even know how to take the friends out. I don't use it, and that's why I tell people don't send me friend requests. I'm not being rude. I don't use Facebook unless I'm doing some shares or entertainment purposes to, harass the jesters and the hypocrites. I'll piss some stuff up, something like that. But other than that, that's about it. I appreciate your time today. I give you 39 minutes and counting, and I apologize for going those 19 minutes over. But when it feels good and it sounds good, it makes me feel good, and I like to express it because why? I'm Brother D family. I got something to say. Have it your way. I just like the BK, and I want you to know that I hope that I'll see you again real soon. And if I don't see you here, let's just shoot to the moon. Because if you missed the moon, at least you got the stars. Hey, take care. I appreciate you. Oh, goddamn. Y'all waiting for the night. Close the door. Hang on. Down. I'm here, shit like that. Light me a cigarette. Yeah, I got me in this motherfucker. I ain't got chili. Y'all want to play the goddamn mind game. 1 minute you want to go outside, and the next minute you don't.